What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Command and Console. My name is Jason. Today I have unboxed my absolute childhood, and you've probably seen from the thumbnail and the video title. Today we're talking about my very first video game console ever, the Sega Master System. This is the Model 2. This is the version I had as a kid. It comes with Alex Kidd built in, and I'm so excited to own one of these again. I've got a bunch of games for it as well. We're going to talk briefly about some of the games as we go, but as you can see, it's in wonderful condition. The difference about this one is I do have the RGB mod for it. So no RF nonsense with this. It plugs straight into the AV port on my TV, and it doesn't look amazing, but it looks better than what RF could give you, and it's perfectly playable in its video quality. And yeah, it's just nostalgia to me. I remember, I think I must have been like 6 or 7 getting this console, and Alex Kidd was the very first video game I ever played, or the earliest video game memory anyway, because you don't have to have a cartridge in this. You can just plug it in, turn it on, and Alex Kidd in Miracle World plays, and it's almost like Sega's kind of like equivalent to Mario at the time. I remember being rock hard. I did play it recently, like when I got this machine, I played a little bit of it. It is very, very difficult. I don't know if it's on purpose or I'm just crap. It could be the latter, of course. But yeah, the Sega Master System, I have so much nostalgia for this. The machine itself, the way it looks, the way the cartridge cover slides over with the logo on it. I picked up a bunch of games with this. This was a part of a 6-game bundle as well, so I've got a bunch of games with it. But we're going to talk about some of the games that I just remember playing loads of as a kid. I've got Alien 3 for the Sega Master System. I remember seeing an advertisement for this random VHS called Game Breaker. It was just like a big, like, kind of a video magazine, or it came with a magazine, just advertised new games coming out, but it advertised the Mega Drive version. And at the time, I didn't have a Mega Drive. I only had a Master System. But I realised, I think I remember it coming out on Master System, or finding it in a shop on Master System. And I think my dad bought me it. I remember loving this one. This is before I saw any of the films, so it was just like, I assumed it was a film, but I didn't really know at the time as being a kid. Like, I was like 6 or 7. I just remember this checkerboard artwork being just iconic to me. Most of the Master System games had this kind of art style where it had this white checkerboard art on it. And I just think it looks fantastic. I just think it looks, I say it looks fantastic, but it kind of just invokes nostalgia and just going back as a kid playing these games. The fun fact about Alien 3 is that I generally feel like this 8-bit rendition of it might be better than the 16-bit game. I feel like it might be, solely because I've played the Mega Drive version since growing up, and going back to this, it just seems a bit more kind of inviting, a bit more kind of accessible. The map is a bit more open. You're zoomed out a bit more, so you can see a bit more of the map. The kills aren't as cheap. You know, aliens aren't jumping at you out of nowhere just for cheap deaths. A bit more enjoyable for me as a, you know, a player of this game as a kid, but also playing what's usually people would assume to be the superior version, being the Mega Drive version. But the Master System version for me is definitely much better than the Mega Drive version. And jumping back on this in 2023 it's just a blast. It's just a nostalgia nuke, just enveloping me and taking me back when I was like 6 or 7. Awesome. Yeah, this game is one of those rare license games. That is great. And the fun fact about rediscovering the Master System, as you know, as a much older adult, I've noticed that most of the games I owned on the Master System were licensed titles, and it was back in the time where not every, like, you know, being a licensed title wasn't automatically, you know, terrible. We had some great licensed titles, Alien 3 being one of those. Next up is The Lion King. I played a shitload of this as a kid, and I absolutely loved it. Again, a lot of these games are well known for being on the Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo, but I cut my teeth on these games on the Master System, and The Lion King was great. I haven't jumped into this one yet, so I'm not sure how it holds up, but I just remember it being just a wonderful, fun little game with the music from the film and the awesome, you know, visuals of it as well. I'm not sure who developed this one, because I know that Capcom and Disney had a lot of kind of cross-promotion games back in these days. Apparently, this is a Disney and Virgin Interactive partnership. So, but yeah, I feel like Disney had a lot of great titles on the 8-bit systems back in the day, and The Lion King for me is one of the best. I still need to get Aladdin, because that was one of the big games. That's what I had as well for me. The Lion King is great though. I'm somewhat of a low-key Sonic the Hedgehog fan. I've kind of tried every game up until today, pretty much. Like, I've tried to follow Sonic the Hedgehog as a game series, as a character, all my life, because the original Sonic the Hedgehog was the second game I ever played after Alex Kidd. And of course, it was obviously the 8-bit version, the Master System version. Not to take anything away from the Mega Drive version, because I think the Mega Drive version has, better visuals, better sound. But whenever I hear the bleeps and bloops of the Master System playing the theme tune for Sonic the Hedgehog, I instantly get teleported back to as a kid. I remember this game being absolutely rock hard. I remember always trying to create challenges for myself. Like, if I lose rings, I restart the game and try again, and try to beat levels without taking damage, and collect as many rings as possible and try and get that 100 rings for an extra life. But Sonic the Hedgehog for the Master System is a memorable game of all time, and I've been a Sonic fan all my life. I've not played every Sonic game, but I've played all the ones that are, mainline at least, like Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic CD. You get the gist. The Sonic Adventure games. I've followed them all, and I feel like there's more quality in the series than there's not. And it all started for me with the original game on the Master System. I personally think the artwork on this case is superior to the Mega Drive version. Kill me in the comments if you disagree, but it's all good. I absolutely adore this game. I adore this character. It takes me back to when I was 7 years old. What a game. And yeah, it's crazy how, like, loads of people associate Sonic with the Mega Drive, but I associate Sonic the Hedgehog with the Sega Master System, because I never had a Mega Drive or a Super Nintendo or anything like that as a kid. I had a Master System, then I jumped over to a PlayStation, so it was a massive jump in technology for me. Speaking about Sonic, the last game we're just going to bring up here is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Again, I absolutely adore that artwork. I think it's fantastic. And yeah, I just feel like this was a fun game as well. I played this as well recently, and it's just super nostalgic to me. These 8-bit renditions of these games are actually really difficult. I absolutely suck on these games. I don't know whether it's like you got less screen real estate, so you don't know what's coming up, so it's a bit more easier to get hit and knocked and get hit by spikes and stuff. So yeah, I just feel like these are maybe a bit more challenging than the Mega Drive variants, perhaps, but who knows. But that is Sonic and Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Master System. So that is the Master System. Let me know about your earliest gaming memories and whether you owned a Sega Master System. I know that this machine did really well in Europe, did amazingly well in Brazil, but not so much in the United States. It didn't take off like the NES did. It was kind of like barely had a foothold in the United States in terms of market share at all. I mean, nobody, as far as I'm aware, looking into the history of this, really kind of had a Master System in America. It was mostly UK, Europe, and especially Brazil. Brazil was a big fan of the Master System. For me, it will always be a machine close to my heart. It will always make me think of my childhood, and I'm so happy to have one again. So yeah, let me know any and all your thoughts in the comments down below. Did you have a Master System? Do you like the Master System? How do you compare the 8-bit renditions to their 16-bit big brothers? Let me know, because I do feel like maybe Sonic the Hedgehog might be a bit of a hidden gem. I hate that term, but people, I don't think people know about how good this 8-bit version of this is until you play it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, let's continue to build a Master System collection.